many different things going on here on the fridge. There we go. Everyone is watching. Sound seems to be working, which is good. Okay. So you can all hear me. We're going to get started. Good morning, friends. Thanks for coming by, saying hi. My name's Toby. I'm 41 years old, and you know what? I had a couple of minutes left this morning. I figured I might as well drop by, say hi, and get us started on the day with the podcast and a little chat about health and fitness. For those of you who are watching and who don't know my channel, or are new to my channel, I am 41 years old and I'm training to live an active, self-sufficient and adventurous life, not only now, but also well into the future. And that means not only at 51, not only at 61, but we're thinking 71, 81, 91. We're thinking 4 decades ahead, basically, and more. And the reason I find that important is because I've understood that we might live to be that old because life expectancy is increasing. And if we are or can expect to live that long, then we also might want to have a plan in place on how to make the most of life there, because for the most part, what I understand is that final decade of our life is, riddled with disease and discomfort. And some of those diseases and discomforts are preventable, reversible, treatable, or we can diminish the effects of them on our lives through certain lifestyle choices that we can make. That's not an easy thing to do, but it is something that we can be mindful of. And only can we be mindful of it, we can actually become pretty good at it. So, what I do is I mind my sleep, I mind what I eat, I mind my activity, I mind my relationships, and I mind my hobbies to create this mix of focus points that all in one way or another would contribute to my general health and fitness, not only now but also in the future. And I talk about it on this channel. So if that's something you might be interested in, you go ahead, hit like, subscribe, say hi in chat, let me know that you're watching, and we can continue this conversation today, tomorrow, any other day. I don't record this podcast every day because that became a bit too big of a commitment alongside the training stream every day at the moment, but I do intend to at least once a week drop by for a conversation on health, fitness, and longevity in this shape and form. And I look forward to connecting with you over that. We usually talk while my coffee is brewing and while I finish my first cup of coffee of the day. The coffee is brewing now, so we can start talking about the content. I will talk briefly about today's training, because usually there's a training that I do in the morning when I wake up. Then we are going to talk today about hitting our stride and about how to build that momentum, whether that's with food, whether that's with sleep, whether that's with movement, whether that's in contributions or connections, whether that's with a hobby. How do we actually develop that kind of forward moving motion, that impetus to change, so to speak. And then we're going to talk about one small change that we can make in our lives. And since it's this Thursday, we're going to talk about reaching out and connecting with people contributing to our communities. So, today's training was mobility. It was light because on Wednesday evening between 8 and 9, which is usually when I go to bed, I will be at judo class, and it takes about an hour to actually wind down or unwind from that hour of training. Judo. So, you know, by the time the mat's cleared up, you get home, sit down, relax, wash the suit, obviously get it ready for the next week. We're talking, you know, 1.5 hours plus. So that puts us at 10:30 before I actually go to bed. So, you know, 10:30 to 5:30 is more or less 7 hours. But I probably would like to wake up closer to 6 there. So it was a bit of an easy training, one for slight lack of sleep, two because within the span of 12 hours I also already had quite an intense demand on my body. But it was pleasant. You know, it's nice to feel your body stretch, recover. You can feel the soreness and tightness and feel some of the bumps and bruises from last night's class, because it is a physical contact sport that is inevitable, so to speak, but all done in good spirits and good fun. And it was just a chill, relaxed workout. So if you want to go check out my mobility routine this morning, you go over to my channel, check it out, and you can follow along or get some inspiration there. For your own, it's full body. I tend to do most of the things full body because I have 30 minutes, so I want to get as much done for myself as possible. And also, I think that over time, if I do full body sufficiently over an extended period of time, all the little changes that I'm forcing or driving in my fascia, my range of motion are going to increase and improve due to the consistency rather than doing one thing specifically for like a month, for example. I think that logic applies to a lot of things in life, at least for me. So today's topic, hitting our stride. And figuring out a way to be consistent in the things that we want to do for health and fitness. The channel is show up and do the work, right? That's the theme of the channel anyway. Oh, and I appreciate the support. Thanks for the hearts and for dropping by and saying hi. And whoever you are, I hope you're doing well. And I hope life is treating you well. And I'm grateful that you're taking the time to let me know that you're watching. All right. So how do we figure out how to hit that stride? How do we figure out what we can do consistently? Well, through experimentation. Okay. I think when I was a student in the early 2000s, there was suddenly this video on TED about how children innovated versus how there was suddenly a lot of buzz around this video, I would say, around how children innovated versus how consultants and educated people innovated. And basically the crux of the video was this: they gave people spaghetti and marshmallows and they told them to construct an as high tower as they possibly could. And the strange thing was that the kids consistently built higher constructions than the adults in the time frame that they were allowed. I think it was 30 minutes, something like that. And here's why, right? It's because the kids, by the end of the 30 minutes, had done maybe 10 to 20 to 15, 10 to 20 to 30 prototypes. Whereas the adults first sat down, planned, had all of these ideas for structures, debated, discussed, and then had 3 minutes to build the final product. The point being, if you want to drive change, and if you want to make a change, sometimes it's better to just start doing things and to learn from them and to adapt along the way than to try to figure everything out up front and then follow a set schedule, because you'll get a result, but that is your first experiment. Whereas if in the same week you do maybe 7 or 14 or 21, right? 7 meals, 40 meals, 21 meals of experimentation, you're probably going to figure out a bit faster how to actually make the changes in your day-to-day routine. And hang on, I just need to check on something. Hello? Alexander? Okay. And with that, I'm going to have to kind of cut the stream short because one of the kids woke up and is on his way into the living room. One of the joys of being a father and trying to stream at a time. Time frames, thanks for dropping by saying hi, and I appreciate that compliment, and I hope that you're doing well. So to wrap this up very quickly, right? To hit our stride and to figure out what works quickly, experiment more, think less, and one small change that we can drive in our life when it comes to our relationship is to try to organize something. Okay, so like these small things that we can do throughout the week, like drink a glass of water, or eat an apple before a meal. In terms of our connections and relationships, try to organize something. Something small, a get-together, a cup of coffee with one or two friends, a brunch somewhere, a walk in the park. But try to figure out one thing that you can do to bring maybe one or two people that you would like to spend time with together. And see how that works out. What are the details of that? How does that fit into your schedule? How hard is it to make all the schedules work? And then learn how to do that. Because I think that is an important skill to develop in terms of maintaining a social life and a social network. Okay? Friend, I think that's all I have for you today. That was short, but I hope it was useful. I appreciate you dropping by, saying hi. I'm going to make some breakfast. And remember, we're good just the way we are. We've got to love ourselves before we can move on. This person we are today is going to get us to where we want to be tomorrow. So a bit of kindness will go a long way. And the only way to get anything done is by showing up and doing the work. So I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for dropping by. Hit like, subscribe to my channel, and hopefully I'll catch you on a next stream. And just remember, friends, subscribe.